Hey y'all, I'm so excited that you've joined me today because we are going to make the most fun recipe that you are going to absolutely love. Bacon and cheddar skillet biscuits. Doesn't that sound yummy? I made it the other day and I sent some home with Charlene and she's like, Mom, these biscuits. I said, I know, they're just so good and they smell so good whenever they're cooking. So what I've done is I've cooked my bacon bits. Here are my bacon bits. I cooked them in the cast iron skillet that I'm going to bake the biscuits in. And I took my, not this one, I took my little brush and I just brushed the bacon grease around so that it would serve as the tool so the biscuits won't stick. Now, if you have really good bacon, you're not going to have a whole lot of grease. I know I love bacon grease to cook with, but you're just not going to have it because there's so much meat on it. And this bacon had a little bit of the rind left, which is so flavorful. And if you can find bacon like that, get it. I know Ray's Supermarket in Moncure, North Carolina sells it. And I've seen some that he made. And it's so flavorful. It's almost like fatback. It just adds so much flavor to your dish. But what I do is whenever I need the bacon crumbled, I can never crumble it evenly. So I slice the bacon in advance and then I cook it after I've sliced it. So this is such an easy recipe. I think you're going to absolutely love it. And I've made it a little bit easier because we're going to use biscuit mix. Now, if you don't like biscuit mix, then just use your favorite biscuit recipe and add these things to it. 1 tablespoon of sugar. Mix that together really well. And then we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. And you know, there's another sour cream biscuit that I have on my YouTube channel and Facebook. And it's so delicious. It's not a biscuit actually. Well, it's called a biscuit, but it's kind of more like a roll whenever it bakes because it's so tender. Let me get a spoon and get every little bit out of here. All right, so that's 3/4 of a cup of sour cream, 3/4 of a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. So it's kind of easy to remember because everything's about the same amount. And then we're going to add 1/3 of a cup of buttermilk. Now, I'm going to kind of mix these together a little bit before we add the buttermilk because I have a little bit more buttermilk poured. That's what the recipe called for. So let's see if what's going to be enough for it. Okay, here we go. I love buttermilk. You know, if you don't have any buttermilk, I'm going to save just a little bit in my little measuring cup here. If you don't have buttermilk and you want to use buttermilk in a recipe, you can make your own. It's so easy. You just put a couple of tablespoons of white vinegar in the bottom of a cup, and then you pour the milk on top. A couple of cups of milk or whatever you need, and then you let it sit for about 15 minutes, and it makes the same thing as buttermilk is, and it gives it that same nice and very pungent kind of, in a good sort of way, flavor. Okay, so let's see how biscuit mix is doing here. I use this because I thought it would be good to mix this together with, but maybe not. And I don't usually use it for biscuit mix. I just thought maybe it would be the best thing. So let's just use our spoon. Okay. Let's mix our things together. Now, you can use your hands, too. You know, that's God's tools. That's your best tools. So while I'm mixing this together, I want to say to y'all, thank you so much for liking these videos, commenting, sharing, liking our page, following our page. And would you do me a favor and just check and see if you are following our page? And if you're not, would you please follow it? Because I don't know how Facebook works really, but sometimes I think lately, like my daughter has followed my page forever and she wasn't on my list. So anyway, if you'll just check that for me, I surely would appreciate it. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Then you'll get a notice every time we post a recipe. And you'll be able to make all these yummy recipes in your home. But what we're going to do to Cajun this up a little bit is we're going to add our Cajun butter that we made a couple of weeks ago. Not add it to it whenever we're baking it, but add it to it as the top. You know how you butter a biscuit? And so what I'll do is after it's cooked, after it's baked, I'll just add it on the top and let it melt. Oh my gosh, yummy, y'all. Just yummy, yummy, yummy. All right, so it looks like this is a pretty good mix of dough. And then this is the easy part. You don't have to drop them. You don't have to do anything but just put it in your skillet. So here we go. We're going to put it down in the skillet. And kind of pat it out with your hands to make sure that it's evenly. Now, you know what I should have done? Put Pam on my hands, and I forgot. Dadgummit. But anyway, put some Pam on your hands or some kind of vegetable spray, and then pat it out evenly so that you can have that all the biscuits will be the same depth, and they'll all be so yummy. I'm telling y'all, this is such a great recipe for the evening. I mean, it's great for the morning because especially if you have company and they want something, you want something just a little bit special, you can make these biscuits and they're going to think that they are being treated to a high-end breakfast. They're that yummy. And they're also so yummy for supper. You can serve this with anything as the bread in your meal, and they'll be absolutely delicious. Okay, now we're going to take our egg. We have one egg, and I beat it up really well. And then we're going to brush the top with the egg because we want them to be nice and golden brown. My hands are messy, but I'll wash them up in just a minute. Just take it and brush it all over the top of your biscuits. I hope everybody's doing well. We've had cold weather again. It's cold outside, y'all. But we're looking forward for some spring weather soon and just enjoying the 4 seasons. When we moved here, you know, I lived in Louisiana, born and raised in Louisiana. Lived there after we got married for a long time. Then we moved to Texas, and then we moved here. So we've lived in 3 amazing places and loved them all. But when we moved here, I just thought it was so fun to have seasons because I had never lived in any place that had seasons. And so the first fall, it was just so much fun to actually have fall and see the leaves turn and all like that. And we have snow, and we like the snow too. It's fun to have snow. Nico loves the snow. He loves playing in the snow. So anyway, we're grateful to live in this beautiful area. All right, so just make sure that all of the top of your biscuit is brushed with this egg, and it's going to make them nice and golden and beautiful. I have my oven on 400, and I'm going to put this back in the oven, or this in the oven. We're going to bake it for about 28 minutes. Now, every oven's different, so check it, and you can tell when a biscuit is done. You'll start smelling it, and you can take a little taste if you want to. But if you cook it for 26 to 28 minutes, that should be just wonderful. And plenty of time for it to get cooked through in your oven. So I'll put it in the oven, and then we'll see you back in about 30 minutes or so. Okay, what did I tell you? Look at this, y'all. A skillet biscuit. It smells so yummy, and it's just so beautiful. And honestly, I think if you were even having friends over for dinner, just serve it right out of your skillet because cast iron keeps things warm, and I just think it's beautiful. I'm going to take a picture of it in a minute. Isn't that pretty, y'all? So I think what we're going to do is, now here's our Creole butter. Remember, we made it the last video with our Dana Dash right there. You can go to my website and get Dana Dash. You can go to Lebo's in Alexandria area, all of the Lebo's there. You can go to Little Eva's Pecan House in Clutieville and Ray's Supermarket in Moncure, North Carolina. So thank you to everyone who's selling it. We hope that everybody gets on board and we sell it more places. But anyway, we used it for this Creole butter, and it is delicious. I'm going to spread this yummy, yummy Skillet biscuit with this butter all over it while it's hot, and then it'll melt down to all those crevices. I've used this butter a lot, y'all, since we made it, and it's so yummy on so many different things. It just adds a whole nother level to anything that you are cooking. And so, anyway, I think you're going to love it. All right, you can see the bacon and the little spring onions, which, by the way, mine survived. I don't know how in the world, but these are mine. They're on my back porch in a little pot. And cheddar cheese. Oh, my goodness, y'all. Buttermilk, sour cream. Let me see if I can cut one little piece. You're supposed to let it cool just a little bit so that it will cut evenly or come out evenly. So I don't know. So it looks like it still needs to cool just a little bit, but I'm going to take a little pinch right here. See how hot it is. But it's got a little bit of that butter on it, so let's taste it. Seriously, y'all. So good. Your family is going to absolutely love it. Y'all make this beautiful skillet biscuit. I think you are going to love it. Bon appetit, y'all.